Okay. Hello, everybody.
What
Welcome to
is going
Ride.
on?
Welcome to Ride the Tide podcast, episode 13.
You're damn right it is.
Woohoo! As you see, we're missing somebody. Tyler, he's currently at Faster Horses. He's having a little vacay of his own.
He's plastered out
But
of his mind.
but we're gonna hold down the fort. Okay.
Always.
But before we get started, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Vegas Sports Advantage, because right now their current bettors are up at the All-Star game. They're up 18 units for baseball in the MLB. They're up 18 units. The $100 bettors are making 1.8K. $500 bettors are up 9.4K. And we got $1,000 bettors are up 18.8K. Now, if that doesn't get you on to go over to Vegas Sports Advantage to get their packages, to get their picks, I don't know what does, because they only win.
That's true.
Make sure to use our link too. All right, so let's get started, shall we?
Yeah, let's fucking get in right into it.
Alrighty, we got Let's start with some NBA because we got the Bucks tying the series.
I know you're not happy about that.
I'm not happy at that
What happened?
at
It was
all.
2-0. I thought it was Phoenix and 4.
I was saying 5.
Okay.
But listen, apparently it was looking so good last game. Then they just kind of lost it at the end. I don't know what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Devin Booker had 42 points. Okay, the rest of the starters had 38. That tells you right there that Devin Booker was pretty much the main man cooking. I mean,
really
Crowder,
was.
Ayton, CP3. Your other 3 starters, they all shot under 30%. So Devin Booker, who also, let me just point out, has now set a playoff record for the most points scored in your first playoff appearance with 522.
That's crazy.
He's going absolutely we had that one game in game 3 where he shot horrible. Everyone knew that was the only game you were going to see, and he was going to bounce back like crazy. And I mean, I'll be honest, Middleton had 40 points. He was cooking. Giannis had 26 points. He had a double-double. But there's one play that I want to talk about that has already been getting a lot of buzz, but very, very important play towards the end of the game. So there was a lob thrown up to DeAndre Ayton, and a man named Giannis, with his lengthy-ass arms, decided to completely block the entire oop attempt, man. And everyone was talking about it, Luke, and I want to know, how do you feel about that play?
I saw it on social media being compared to LeBron's block, and how saying it's up there with it. It's one of the best. You can't, as straight up, it's the best. I'm mad. It's my own team it happened against, but at the end of the day, you got to respect the play. But I mean, until the end of playoffs, fuck him for that.
I don't think it was as big as LeBron's block, but I do agree. And
I don't know I don't think it is, but
the problem is now
it's being compared to being
if
up
the
there
Bucks
with.
win the series, now you have that one play that you're gonna see forever.
And I'm gonna want to die.
That's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be that block.
I'm gonna go buy a power shovel and go start digging my hole I can go bury myself in.
Well, what do you have now? Do you have Suns and 6? You haven't taken the next 2?
Honestly, the way it's as we speak, whoever's home is winning.
So it's going 7 to Phoenix.
So it might go to 7 to Phoenix. I think I don't know. I think the Suns can cook up some magic and take it in 6.
I think they can too.
But honestly, by the way the series is looking, it's looking like a game 7. And it's going to be a game 7 of the ages.
Yeah, and the only thing I can't see is I cannot see the Bucks winning in 6. I can't see the Bucks winning the next 2. I cannot. I don't know why. It's like the only scenario I don't really see.
Yeah, no, I can't either with Phoenix. It's just like they're so good at home, both teams. It's
right.
It's going to be tough. Whoever can defeat the other person.
It really is. It's going to be a hell of a series, though. Still is. Right now it is. But moving on.
Let's move on.
We got some news that not a lot of people are going to be happy about, me included, as I am one of the people who was rooting for Dame to go to the Lakers or anywhere outside of Portland. So Damian Lillard was doing his post-game interviews with Team USA, and they were just talking about all these trade rumors that were supposedly happening. Damian Lillard said that none of them were true. He said that he is most likely going to stay in Portland, and he's just asking for Portland to be more urgent on his contract. That's pretty much just a big fuck to everyone else because nobody wants him to stay in Portland. Everyone wants him to go to a fucking team.
He wants to stay in Portland.
I know, but we knew this. We know how much he loves Portland. We knew he didn't want to leave. But at the end of the day, so you just want to be, you just don't want to win a ring. That's cool. That's cool. I'm just like, that's what you want, right? Because I'm just like, I'm trying to get on the same wavelength as you.
Maybe he wants to be a part and help build Portland up to be a contender at some point. Not saying that's going to happen or it's a possibility it's going to happen. I'm just saying it could be a possibility.
Already did it. He's done it for 8 years. He's done it for, I don't know how long he's been on Portland statistically, but I can tell you for the 5,
if
6
he's
years,
been on Portland, I honestly
consistently first round, second round playoff appearances, trying to build the team.
Maybe he just loves it there. That's his home. If he's
that's what I'm saying.
If he's there for that long, why would you want to change it? Ultimately, you want to change something you have set so good for your life to go chase something which could ruin it. Like some people are okay
what do you mean?
with, like, if he leaves this team to go for a ring, it might not happen and his career could suffer from it. If he stays here,
yes, it's
he's
a risk.
staying. He's basically safe here. He's staying. He's not going anywhere. He's got his spot.
You're right, but you
risk
cannot
all of that safety,
safe, bro.
I know that, but maybe he just wants to ride it out. He doesn't care about the whole big shebang.
And that's what I'm saying. If he's cool with that, then I'm cool with that too, Dame. That's how. If you're like, I'm not really gonna about a ring, then okay, cool.
Maybe that's his mindset. Maybe that's his mindset at the moment.
But I'm just saying, in terms of me running a sports podcast, breaking down sports, the biggest thing that I look at are championships, rings, and accomplishments. And if Damian Lillard does decide this is going to be his home because he likes it, he's safe, it's comfortable, family, rapping, doing it all in Portland, and he loves it, that's cool. But just know that for his legacy, shit is not going to change from here on out.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, I mean, that's that. But moving on to
the U.S. men's basketball team.
So a couple people out, a couple people in. Bradley Beal, first off, was the first one out because he was put on the health and safety protocol list. And then right after, Kevin Love, his old ass couldn't hang with the Young Bucks, got a calf injury, and sent him out of there. So
that's tough.
Everybody was talking about how after Trae Young was upset because he basically said he wanted to be on Team USA. So when Bradley Beal was out, everyone's like, okay, Trae Young is going to be a lock. Kevin Love's out. Now you have 2 chances for him to be a lock. So the NBA decides, you know what? We are going to pick up Keldon Johnson and JaVale McGee to be the replacements. Okay, so and Trae Young goes on Twitter and he tweets the meme of Isaiah Thomas where he goes, you know where I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't selected? Yeah. He tweeted that out and then posted a sad emoji and a USA flag. Like, buddy, if Trae Young wants to be on your basketball team, pick Trae Young on your basketball team.
You let Trae Young on your basketball team. Where's the issue?
You're not putting Keldon Johnson.
Do you want to win?
Young.
Do you want to win?
And you lost the first 2 exhibition games already.
Yeah,
Everyone's
you literally.
on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did choke those 2 drastically. That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassment for the. That should have never happened.
Neither one. But that is basically, I don't know the management or the fucking guy who ultimately controls who's on Team USA. It's probably a lot of people. But the more people they are, the worse you guys look, to be honest. Because
honestly.
it's one thing for Trae Young to be like, I want to play on Team USA. It's another thing for you to have 2 opportunities for him and be like, nah, I'll take JaVale McGee. That's like when motherfucker Kellerman said, I want Iguodala. It doesn't make any sense. There's no
Like
reason for
why?
it.
Like why? Okay. Is that all for basketball?
That's all I got.
All right, let's move on to baseball.
Oh yeah, quite a weekend. So first things first, ladies
Here
and
we
gentlemen.
go.
Let's get this out of the way real quick. And I want you to know that this is not me bashing Luke, because if Tyler was here, he'd be getting the same thing. Now, Salvador Perez was out in the very first
Dude,
round
he
to
went
Pete
crazy.
Alonso. He didn't
He
have a
went
shot
absolutely crazy.
because Pete Alonso hit 35 home runs in round 1. And I told you
Like
guys, you
what?
are stupid, idiotic if you take Salvador Perez.
Listen,
I am so happy that my statement went through, and I just want to say that.
Yeah, it was the luckiest call of your life. I just want.
It wasn't.
I
He
just
won
want
the
to let.
Derby.
I want to
He
let you
won
know
the
that.
Derby.
I want to let you know that.
If he only won round 1,
Listen,
I could
the
vouch.
odds
Who
for someone,
hit
the odds
most
for
home
someone
runs
to
in round
go
1?
back to back and smoke everyone in the Derby again, very slim. He was supposed to use that after he won last year and be like, oh, hey, let's party, let's drink a little bit, let's do this a little tipsy, and let's have some fun with it. Not, okay, let's just start powerhousing every single one.
Yeah, he's got to
Start
get his
saying
money, bro.
a big F you to everyone else who decided to show up, and a big F you to Ohtani, who should have fucking won that.
We'll talk about
even
Ohtani
though
in a
he
second.
choked.
We'll talk about Ohtani in a second, because I want to stay on Pete, because Pete hit 35 home runs in round 1, and that was fucking crazy. Then he wins the whole Derby. And I think after he won round 1 and Ohtani was out, everyone kind of was like, all right, I want Mancini to win because it's like a feel-good story.
Yeah.
But you knew that Pete was going to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just knew it. But, like, it was tough because, honestly, so Shohei should have been up there if he didn't go cold in the first 2 minutes.
First 2 minutes, he couldn't
First 2 minutes, he would have smoked them.
He couldn't hit the ball in the air.
He would have been 30 plus too.
I can't believe he didn't hit a home run in a minute and a half.
That's crazy. That was honestly mind blowing to me.
That was shocking.
I was watching my bet just fly out the window, pitch by pitch, and it was from the start. I'm like, how am I supposed to feel about this now? Like, what?
Oh God, dude! I'll be honest. I think that Ohtani was more of just, I'm having fun, and Pete Alonso was more of, there's a mill on the line. Fuck you talking about? I'm trying to win this whole thing. I don't care about fun.
Yeah.
Because Pete Alonso, keep in mind, last time he played in the home run derby, and this time he played in the home run derby, everybody else, the other 15 people in those 2 derbies, guess how much money they got?
How much?
For playing in the derby? $0.
Zilch?
Guess how much Pete Alonso has won from just competing in the last 2 derbies?
Isn't it like $2 million?
$2 million because he won $1 million for each one he won.
That's crazy.
Buddy's just getting money for his contract, buddy. He doesn't. He's like, dude, the derby is my bonus check for the year.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. It's said match right there.
You know,
he's living the good life. He's living the high life. He's about to have to come back for a 3rd time next year. You're just like, okay, time to top that last performance.
I don't want him to stop. I want him to keep doing it until somebody beats him. Honestly. But also,
I don't think anyone could repeat that. Maybe if Shohei could start hitting homers from the very start, there might be some competition in that one.
One more homer. That's stupid. But also, there was a lot more that happened this weekend than just the home run derby. The All-Star game was played, and the AL, for the 8th consecutive year, has won the All-Star game by a score of 5-1. I didn't even know the American League just wins every year until I saw that stat. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that the NL just doesn't win these. That's cool.
Yeah.
So the big stat was Ohtani obviously came in, went 1, 2, 3. Pitching was pretty much the main factor in this game, which a lot of people were honestly surprised by, because I know the over under was 11, so majority took the over, and I know that did not hit.
That did not at all.
Not
It
at
did not.
all. The
Yikes!
people
That's
on
a
Twitter
big
by
yikes
like
to those
7th inning
betters if
were
we're being
pissed.
real.
They were pissed. But Vlad Guerrero Jr., he did make some noise with his second at bat, and he had a 468-foot bomb. He
Did he now?
also decided that he was just going to take home the All-Star Game MVP, which now makes him the youngest player in MLB history to win the All-Star Game MVP. This man, Vladdy Jr., bro.
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got to make your name, and you got to make it shine. And he's making it shine great.
I think he is doing a great job of letting everyone know that my dad had his legacy, and I am starting mine. And I am starting it right now, and you can start watching it because it's going to be here for a while.
Yes, he is my dad, but this is my legacy.
Exactly what I'm saying. And I mean, he's in third. He could win triple. He could win Triple Crown this year. People don't realize he is in top 3 for every category. He does. He has potential to win the Triple Crown right now. And I think that the big reason why it's being overshadowed is because of what Ohtani's doing. Same with
because
Tatis.
Ohtani is on a huge takeover across the entire MLB league. Not even just like one team or city, league.
He really is. And I think that the only thing I can really say is man, when Mike Trout comes back from injury, he's gonna be shocked. He's gonna be like, what the hell? Because when he left at the beginning of the year, he was like, all right, I'm still the best player in baseball. Maybe Tatis. Maybe. But I'll listen to your argument. He's got to come back now, and if he is not performing like Mike Trout level, you're the 4th best player in the league behind Tatis, Vladdy, and Shohei. Automatic. And that is wild. Because Trout has been on the top of the league for what, 9-10 years? Like fucking hell. So I think more than anything, he's gonna be shocked.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Is that all you got for the All-Star game?
That is everything that happened in the All-Star game.
All right, let's move on to the big trade talk.
Yes, but we got a big trade. So as everybody knows, Ronald Acuna Jr. tore that ACL out for the year. Big L, big oof, and nobody's happy about that. So the Braves had to do something about it, though. Braves had to realize that they don't have a power bat in the outfield because Adam Duvall, you traded him. Acuna, your other one, he's injured. You're kind of fluffed. So they hit up the Cubs. Sounds like it. And the Cubs, who are, after just losing 10 in a row the other week, the Cubs are now in a place where they weren't going to sell, but they are now going to sell. There are players like Rizzo, Baez, like big names.
Okay.
They will sell now. So they're starting with Jock Peterson. He played on the Dodgers for many years, and then he just actually went over to Chicago. It was his first year this year in Chicago. Big power bat. That's pretty much what he's known for. He's a big strikeout homer type guy. He's batting only 230, but he's got his slugging numbers up. Big W for Atlanta. Big pickup. You honestly needed to pick up a contract that wasn't going to fluff you too bad because when Acuna comes back, Peterson will probably be gone. So yeah. I like this a lot. And this is honestly just starting all the big trades because my prediction from now until every podcast, until the MLB trade deadline hits, I will have at least one trade to break down because as soon as you hit one, and then it becomes the trade season. Yeah. MLB goes nutty every day. There's an acquisition. Oh, so, yeah. That's what I got for MLB. But I know you have one more thing for some crazy shit that almost happened. Yeah. Oh, no, you have one more thing before that.
I got one more big thing before we go on to the rule changes that you want to talk about. We got Drew Robinson retiring from the MLB, from the San Francisco Giants, to join the office of the Giants. The man who survived a suicide attempt and returned to play baseball with one eye. Now, after this past weekend, he is now retiring and joining or the last weekend, he is now joining the Giants organization in the office. So
That's
good
a
news
W,
there.
man. That's a big W. The Giants are a great organization. They hire the first like women coach. They're hiring this guy.
Yeah,
They're a great organization. Something
no,
I want to be a part of if I'm a baseball fan, just because they seem like
they're taking big steps. They're
they're taking
taking really big
everybody.
steps.
I
They're
want to hear
opening
your
a lot of
story.
doors.
I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance organization. I like that a lot.
I like it a lot. Now
Um,
let's move on to the rule changes that you want to talk about.
so this is big news. Big news. Okay. So the MLB. Now this is just all hypotheticals, but they are considering strongly to ban some rules. Now, Rob Manfred said the first rule he would like to eliminate is he does not like the 7-inning doubleheaders. Guess what? Neither do we. He also says that he would like to ban the shift. Thank you. Fucking thank you. Holy
If you
shit.
don't know Dylan, you know Dylan hates the shift.
I hate the shift. It's stupid. It's ruining baseball. It's ruining the game. And
I mean,
on top of that,
meanwhile, the Padres just popped up a like 25-8 dub yesterday.
put up 24 runs.
Jesus, like how? They only didn't score in the 7th inning. One inning they didn't score in. They had to
Yeah,
run in every other.
that shit was crazy. And then the last rule is the runner on second base to start extra innings. He doesn't like that either. And a lot of people are like, actually, what's wrong with that rule? And then they realize there's no fucking point of it, bro. There really isn't, because if you're gonna play a game and your whole point is time consuming, bro, nobody's got anywhere to be but on that baseball field if you're a player, okay? Because this is the game that you play. It's not
Yeah.
like they need to rush and get the hell out of here. They don't care about time constraints. And if you're going to the game and it runs over, you can leave. After 9 innings hit, you can go. So if this is really all about time and why this was a thing in the first place, all the control is on the fans, because the MLB players aren't going to give a shit about how long the time is. The only person I understand who may get mad is the broadcasters. But guess what? You're getting paid. So who cares? But all three of these rules, if they go through, this is the biggest W that baseball has seen in a while, because we have not seen a lot of W's. And what it's really just doing is bringing baseball back to what it was and taking all the little stupid extra bullshit and trying to get people to watch for, and just being like, we don't need that, because baseball is good the way it is. It is the most traditional game that you can play in sports. So when you try to add all these things and people don't like them, I am happy that you are like, hey, you know what?
At
People
least
don't
they're
like them. Let's get
hey,
rid of them.
at least they're taking the right steps to get out of there.
Exactly. At least they're not like, oh, well, let's just give it another chance. No,
Exactly.
get it out of there. People don't
But
like it, yank it.
let's close up baseball and let's move on to some hockey now.
Alrighty.
We got the first story. It's sad. Matisse, it was found out later throughout the week that now, like, he was a goalie. Now he died in a very sad way, and it, like, our condolences to their families. But he made his last and final save off the ice, and that night, to save a man and a wife who is pregnant with a kid and expecting, and it is presumed he got in the way of the firework that passed him on to save those. And that has all my respects. That is unreal.
It's one of those things that
It is sad.
I love to hear, but I hate to hear,
You really
because
do.
you love to hear it, because if there's any way you want to go out, like when you think of how you want to die, the best possible way is being like, I went out, died a hero, right?
Hmm.
And he did do that. But at the same time, shit should have never happened in the first place. Freak accident. He was so young, man. It's just, it should have never fucking happened in the first place. So
Yeah,
he shouldn't have, there shouldn't have been an opportunity for him to be the hero, which sucks. But the big
exactly.
thing that, is great is he was that hero.
Yeah, he was. But
It's
it's very sad.
it sucks, man.
It
It
really does.
sucks. If I'm gonna be like, I'll put it blunt, man. It's fucking irritating as hell that I haven't seen one report of the fucking firework that was launched. Like, we don't know who
Calm
launched
down with
it.
the F-bombs.
I'm sorry, but I'm
Yikes.
mad now because this is annoying. Do we
It
know? We
is.
don't know who shot the
It's
firework.
right. It's just it's reckless people not shooting fireworks in proper ways
And there was no
because
charge for that guy. Like, he's like,
not that I know of. If I can't, I there it is under investigation, but
I know that.
I refuse to believe it'd be on purpose. That's
Obviously, I know
that's a
that,
whole
but
different level, and that's really messed up.
at the end of the day, if you walk in, if you accidentally shoot somebody with a gun and be like, "Hey man, I didn't know it was loaded. I didn't mean to shoot it," you still shot somebody.
I'm going to be honest with you.
They're
That's
completely
really
different, but
it's
I'm just
really
saying
different
if you
situations
do a freak accident type of
because
thing that somebody dies, yes, freak accident. But at the end of the day, if you're responsible for his death, bro, you're responsible for his death.
it'd be more comparable if you said taking the guns to the shooting range and there and a
Yeah,
ricocheted accidentally came
that's a
back
better
and hit
example.
somebody.
That's a
That'd be a
better
better
example.
example. But anyways, let's move on from the sad story. It's
Yeah,
just let's just get into some NHL offseason news to bring up the spirit, you know.
yeah.
We got we got some information on the Duncan Keith trade and why he got traded. He requested the trade to be closer to his family because he only saw his son once during the 5 month stretch this past season, and he does not like that at all.
Especially with COVID,
No,
that can't be good at all.
but good for him. He's close with his family. But now we got
I'm happy.
Kaprizov on the Minnesota Wild reportedly turned down a $9 million for 8 years a contract for from the Minnesota Wild. He turned that down
And long
because
game.
he sees himself. He wants a shorter term contract. He sees himself being a better player in 4 to 5 years, being worth around 10 to 11 million in a less shorter time than 8 years and what they plan. I respect the move. But he's gonna have to show up and prove that right. If he's not producing superstar numbers, he's not getting that contract. He
Absolutely.
he spoke himself into some pretty big shoes he now has to fill.
When you say something like that, that pretty much sets the tone that you got, and you don't have 4 or 5 years. I'll be dead ass. He's got like 2 years right now. After you make a statement like that,
No, he's got to be top of his team in points and
people
just
are
straight produce in the
expecting.
next 2 seasons at least.
People aren't gonna care that you said in the next 4 or 5 years. All people are gonna care about is, all
Don't
right, he better start freaking producing, and he better. And this isn't me saying that he has to be the best player on the team, but it's really just saying that you have to look at his numbers now and look at his numbers in a couple of years and be like, you know what?
listen.
He was right.
What he did now was absolutely superstar numbers. Like from because he didn't start at the beginning of the season. He came in a little bit late and he was able to produce the numbers he did and carry the Wild what he did. He looks like he has a lot of potential to be an unreal superstar in Minnesota. But he's calling his shot. Will Minnesota trust it? I think they do trust it. I see the potential. He's a superstar. You let him go, that would be the biggest mistake of your life for your team.
And didn't they just buy out 2 other contracts as well?
Yep, they bought out Ryan Suter and Zach Parise because they got them. Now they got them locked up. Why would you let Kaprizov go when you got those two
Exactly.
locked up for the next 4 years?
Exactly. Because in those next 4 years that you have, that he said, give me 4 years, and you're gonna keep those two. It helps him a lot. It does help him keeping his word.
Oh yeah.
I like Zach Parise being bought out, bro. I'll be honest. He's probably my favorite player on the Wild. I like Zach Parise a lot because Zach Parise I really liked him when he was on New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
When he got traded to Minnesota, I didn't give a damn about Minnesota. I didn't know anybody on the Wild except for Koivu.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I felt like he fit in very well
Parise
in Minnesota.
made me a
I
Wild
felt like
fan.
he found his home after like the first
He
season
made
me
me like
watching him in Minnesota.
watch Wild games because I was
They
like, oh, I
really
know Zach
did.
Parise, I know this and that.
They started building their team piece by piece, and they were getting better and better. You let Kaprizov go, you're throwing all of that away.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, but you are.
100%.
You really are. But now we can move on to Gabriel Landeskog for the Avs because he's not the only one thinking he's worth a big ton of money because he's asking for a range of a salary between 9 and 10 million. He's willing to give Colorado a hometown discount, but they're going to have to he's saying they're going to have to up their offer from their last offer, which was in the 5 to 6 mil range on an 8-year term. And he was not liking that.
Hell no, I wouldn't either.
He wants close to double that.
Yeah, as he should. He's a great player. He's a superstar player.
He is, and there's a lot of guys on that team that deserve a lot of money, especially for this past season they have, even when their times come up for their contracts. It's going to be a little shaky coming for Colorado and how they can manage their team. I don't know how they're going to do it. But
and that's the thing about Colorado is they have so many superstars that once you have so many superstars, all those superstars are going to want to start getting their superstar money. You don't have enough money to pay all those superstars.
And when you already got Landeskog trying to reach for that 9-10 mil, what's going to happen when more other of your superstars start reaching a little bit higher and higher? You're going to start have to chopping some, trading some, letting some go.
Seriously. You're going to have to. Yeah, actually.
I mean, you don't have to worry about, you can already count one player gone from the Kraken, I guess.
Yeah.
But we also got to talk about a trade that happened yesterday for the Detroit Red Wings because Steve Yzerman is doing work. He acquired the defenseman Richard Panik from the Islanders for a second rounder I completely messed that up because we traded away Richard Panik and a second rounder for Nick Leddy, the defenseman.
Nick Leddy's a dog, bro. He's
from the Islanders. That is Steve Yzerman's getting the pieces he sees fit for the team. I'm liking it. We have a ton of picks to trade without even blinking an eye, bro.
We have so many picks.
Like we can do whatever we want with them. We can buy literally our whole new team for next year with our picks if we really wanted to. But I'm liking what they're doing there. I like it. I'm a big fan.
Watch us pick up Nick Leddy just for Kraken to select them first from us.
Right. Now let's get into the final bit of hockey news because let's just start out with John Cooper, the head coach for the Lightning. He says he thought when he saw Carey Price and Andrei Vasilevsky shaking hands at the end of the series of the finals, he said, in this playoffs, here I thought the best goalie in the league torch was passed. And when I tell you, I could not agree any more. I really do think Vasi has taken that step, has gotten that torch pass from Carey to now take the next steps to becoming the best goalie in the league.
I don't like John Cooper, and I don't really like.
You don't like anything that has to do with Tampa Bay.
But I 1,000% agree, and I think that I've never been more on board with a statement he's made because if you watch that series, I'm not going to go back to read the numbers. I've already read them. You can go back and check them out on our Twitter if you want.
Yeah.
But Carey Price has been a well-known goalie for how long? 10 years plus?
Yes.
Okay. Vasilevsky's been a well-known goalie for, I want to say, 5 years or less. Short period of time. Vasilevsky has now been, in my opinion, this is just me, all you Fleury fans out there, okay, calm down.
Uh-oh. About to rile up some people.
But I will say, and this is not even me being a Tampa fan, this is me who plays fantasy hockey, Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the league for the past 3 years. I'm sorry. I've watched it. I've seen it. He is the best goalie in the league for the past 3 years. And
people are going to argue that he has a team around him, but it doesn't matter. He still is producing. He's still there when the team fails. He's still 13-0 in games after a playoff loss. In the playoffs, 13-0. That is actually unbelievable. He is now had this was it just his 5th consecutive series-ending shutout in the knockout game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't, like, it doesn't matter who you are, what team you have in front of you. You don't put up those numbers unless you're God tier.
I mean, I think Vasilevsky is going to be the next Carey Price. And so that pretty much ties everything in with what man said.
Yeah.
Because he is. And I think, honestly, you want
Basti,
me to be dead ass? I think he'll be better than Carey Price.
I think he will. I will think he's going to do a lot. He's going to be one of the top goalies in the league in history down
I
the
agree.
stretch.
I
If he
agree.
keeps this up and keeps improving the way he's improving and how fast he's improving. But I guess we'll just have to see for now.
Right.
Now, the last thing in hockey I want to get to is what the Lightning went through their journey through the Cup to get it.
Okay.
Because on March 30th, Victor Hedman suffered a torn meniscus, and now he's finally getting the surgery. We got Alex Killorn broke his fibula on a Monday, had surgery on a Thursday, and was skating by Saturday to try and get back on the ice. I cannot tell you what point in what series that happened. I completely forgot which series he was out. I think it was the Islanders.
I wanted to say, yep, you answered my question. I was gonna say I wanted to say it was late in the Islanders series, like 5, 6, 7
Unless it was this past series.
I don't think it was Montreal. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
really don't think it was. I swear it was Islanders. But then we got Nikita Kucherov sustaining a displaced rib fracture on the hit from Scott Mayfield in Game 6.
Also, Kucherov just being Kucherov, man, that man is hilarious.
Then we had Goudreau and Ryan McDonough both suffered a broken hand during the playoffs. And that's all I got for hockey.
It shows you right there that it's every single injury. And I said this to you last night, and I'm going to say it again. Hockey is the one sport, I know we agreed on this, that any other sport you get an injury, there's 2 things. One, you don't want to go back out there because you know you can't play on it. Or 2, you won't tell anyone about it because they won't let you play or they'll send you to get
in hockey,
results.
the only people who know about the injuries is the people on the team and the staff. That's it. It is not shared with anybody else. It is a disclosed injury because other team will target that. This is hockey. People will take you out if you have a weakness to get you out of the game, to get you out of their way. And especially in playoffs, they will not hesitate to do so.
They don't give a shit.
They hide it. They play through it because they want to be on the ice when that trophy is raised.
And this is what, 5, 6 people you just named that wanted. Yeah. So I think that just shows right there why hockey's the best sport in the world.
Yes. All right. Now wrapping up with hockey. Let's move on to some football. Hey.
Yes, shall we?
Let's get the top. This is from ESPN. Jeremy Fowler. This is his top 5 receivers going into 2021. Now I'll name them off and then we'll discuss it after.
Okay.
We got number 1, Devontae Adams. Number 2, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 3, Stephon Diggs. Number 4, Tyreek Hill. Number 5, Julio Jones. That's a joke. That's a joke of a list. I'm sorry. What kind of ranks are those? Like what? How is? I understand Devontae Adams and his capabilities and everything, but like, what is he gonna do without Rodgers?
Exactly, he is not number 1.
Like, it's not set in stone that he's not gonna have Rodgers, but like, it's not set in stone that he is gonna have Rodgers. What is he gonna do without Rodgers? What are the numbers he's gonna produce without them?
I'd put Diggs above Devontae Adams this year.
I would,
because Josh Allen and how he's performing with Diggs. You don't even know who your quarterback's going to be in Green Bay. As much as Packer fans want to say, if Rodgers leaves, ain't no worry because you had Brett Favre before him and your legacy and you think Jordan Love's going to be all this. I'm telling you right now, Jordan Love, not saying he's going to be a bad quarterback, But he is not going to be no Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry.
He is,
I can't see it in any way.
until
And
proven otherwise, he is not going to be a gigantic superstar. He is proved otherwise. Like he hasn't even proved
he
wise.
hasn't because he's had Rodgers. He hasn't. The Packers don't need to put him in if you have Aaron Rodgers, which
But
I get. But
I'd be
that
putting
was
Hopkins at the top of that list. I'd be putting Diggs second.
Yep.
I'd be putting Adams third. I'm only putting Adams there because of the question marks with the quarterback. That is it.
You better put Julio fourth.
I do have Julio fourth. Yeah, I do have Julio fourth and Hill second.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll be honest, Tyreek Hill, you're the fastest wide receiver in the league, and your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. That's why you're on that list. Cool. You're good. You're a good wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. But let me just say right now, if you're going to tell me in terms of wide receiver, I don't give a shit about his injuries or his age. You're not going to tell me that Tyreek Hill is a better hands and physical receiver than Julio Jones. I won't believe you. I'll look at you and I will giggle in your face until you become upset.
I'm trying to take with this list. I'm trying to take in their skill and what they can do and produce, and then also their team. You mix some of these together, it changes this list a whole lot around because Rodgers moves down because of the question marks. Tyreek Hill, he needs to be at the bottom of that list at number 5 because he is speed and he has Mahomes to hit him on darts. And when you have speed, you're almost open all the time.
Correct.
And then if you're open, Mahomes is going to hit you with a dart almost every time.
Yep.
Those are basically my opinions on that list.
I think the list is BS. I think it's bogus. And I think that, what's his name that made it?
Jeremy Fowler.
Yeah, Jeremy Fowler. I think he's a dumbass.
All right, now let's move on. Let's get through the Richard Sherman situation.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out what to headline this, but I decided to just call it the Richard Sherman situation because there are like 3 headlines, and I got actually a lot to say on this. So I just want to start off by saying that none of this, the phone call of the cop and the wife and everything, should have never been public. That should have all been something that we should not have known about, because from what I've seen, Richard Sherman has released an apology. And in that apology, and also hearing from the phone call, it pretty much just sounds like he was going through something very difficult, some mental health, as you know, obviously many people know, it's no joke. It's some real shit. It sounds like he wanted to cope with his mental health problem that night by drinking. And then he got angry. And it doesn't sound like he beat her or anything. It pretty much sounds like he was really aggressive. He sounds like he was very out of control. And one thing that what?
Listen, he is suffering the repercussion. Maybe not to the full extent, maybe-ish. I don't know the full situation, but he is taking the steps to go. I know I read up on it a little bit. He's going to work, he's going to get checked in or something, or go working on his mental health and stuff.
He's already checked into wherever.
That's a very good step, but at the same time, you still did what you did, and he's owning up to what he did, so you can't knock him for that.
Well, here's my thing, okay? And you can interpret this however you want. If I'm Richard Sherman's wife, okay, and I am married to you, I'm your rock, I'm your talk about everything, I got your back type of this, I don't think, and this is obviously opinionated, I don't think you had to call the cops. I think if you would have talked to him, I know what you're gonna say, so let me actually get this point across. If you were talking to him and you tried several things and you couldn't get it through, I get it then. But if this was a scenario where you're just like, he's going crazy, I need to call the cops, I don't think that's how this should have been dealt with at all. And I think that's the whole reason why the scenario even became public in the first place.
But what you got to understand too, mental health is crazy.
I know.
It makes people do some crazy things and other things. So like in that sense, if you're with someone who's kind of like freaking out like that and being really aggressive, and you can't really defend yourself, it's ultimately the right call. I don't blame it till like things get settled down, and then look at now he's going to try and get the right help now, and
Yeah.
with like instead of
I just
trying
think
to
that
drink it away, because drinking away your problems in like situations like that, 10 out of 10 times will never end good. 10 out of 10 times. You got to get the right help for those types of things. Oh man, your screen's a little frozen, Dill. Is your connection good? How's your connection doing? Connection's a little
I was gonna say you just
wonky.
blacked out for a minute.
Yeah, I hear you. Your connection was a little wonky. Okay, you're back. He's
right.
back. Woo! Oh, we got to.
God damn it.
There we go. Okay, did your Wi-Fi figure itself out yet?
I guess I didn't touch a damn thing and it's on, so I don't know what's happening. But I think the thing that I hate is, yes, he's getting help, but he's also faced with 5 charges right now. It shouldn't have taken 5 charges for you to get the help, bro.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Exactly. Like these are things that should have happened in the past, but now with the situation at play, he's now recognized and he's realizing he needs to get the proper help instead of trying to deal with it himself by drinking.
I mean, I'll be honest, Richard Sherman, your big headline was that you're still a free agent. I'll be honest, I don't think Sherman is going to get signed right now, and I don't think that he should play football this year because I think he's got bigger things in his life that he needs to focus on than
What was it?
sport.
No, never mind.
I think I mean, do you agree? Like if you were
No, I
Richard
agree.
Sherman,
No, I agree with that. I was gonna bring up something
okay.
completely
I just
off
want to know, like,
topic.
if you were Richard Sherman, would you play football this year? Because I wouldn't.
I mean, it depends because hockey for me when I played that's what I did to clear my mind and to keep my mind at ease and peace and to figure stuff out. So
I agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, ultimately, I don't know. It's how he's feeling personally. He could. It's just a matter of will teams want that type of drama on their
Yeah, because people don't usually.
roster.
I don't think that's something that you should be like. I wouldn't take Sherman because he's got mental health problems. It's not like an Antonio Brown situation. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
no.
it's completely different.
Yeah, no. But
I
let's
think.
move. What?
Yeah, we should get off that.
Yeah, let's move on to Tom. Let's move on to Tom Brady.
So Tom Brady, okay, already this right here could just be the headline, and everyone would just be like, "Oh shit," okay, because he's Tom Brady. So I can't believe this. Every time I read this, I honestly cannot believe this is a stat. Tom Brady played from week 1 to the Super Bowl on a torn MCL the
That's crazy.
entire year.
That's why he's the GOAT. That is
Like,
why he is the GOAT, the one and only GOAT.
hell?
Maybe not the one and only, but he's goated.
In football, yes, the one and only. I don't care. The one and only. I am not a doctor, but I do know well enough to know that it is probably extremely hard to play one full football game on a torn MCL.
Oh,
Let alone,
it's definitely painful, but they have some ways around it to reduce the
right.
pain and
Let alone you're the quarterback. You run the offense. Every play, you have the ball. That shit is probably just I have no
crazy.
words. This is unbelievable, Luke. This is crazy.
It's crazy.
This makes no sense.
It's like something you hear. It's something you hear and expect out of hockey finally happened in football.
Wow. Man. it's I have nothing else to say other than that man Tom Brady every day he pisses excellence. I don't care.
He really does.
He pisses.
He really just does. He's like Ricky Bobby.
You're damn right.
Like the very damn pisses excellence. Well. All right. Well, anyways, let's move on to some UFC now.
Yeah, big old fight night tonight.
Big old fight night. We're gonna start it off with Islam Makhachev and Thiago Moises.
Hey, somebody decided to fight him. Somebody finally decided to
Finally,
fight his
after
mom.
about like 8 million turn downs, Makayev finally has a fight, even though he is a ranked opponent and offering fights to ranked opponents.
And they're saying no.
And they will not fight him. They are scared of this man. He is the
They already
Khabib
know.
2.0.
They
Like,
already
literally.
know. They already know. They're not
His
doing it.
numbers already mimic Khabib's as we speak. He fights like Khabib. He dominates like Khabib. No one wants a piece of this man. It's insane. He's finally got the fight. Praises to Moises to finally accepting the
Yeah.
fight and giving this man what he needs. But I expect a straight domination
Massacre.
and Makayev to take it in the decision. This is not going to be a finish. It's going to be a
Really?
decision.
I had him. I'll be honest. I had him round 3 submission.
It could be a submission, but I think I don't know. Moises is not like I don't know. I'm still liking the decision on that. I'm
Okay.
taking the decision.
Well, you would have a better knowing of me.
Yeah, though. Don't get me wrong. That's there, but I don't. I think he's just going to be more ground and pound.
Yeah, I think if I get a knockout though, that'd be nice.
Oh, that'd be huge.
That'd be nice.
It shocked the world like Usman. Like when you least expect it.
Yep.
The man who's known for just grabbing you and wrestling you to the ground till the fight's over.
Uh,
Absolutely knocks the lights out off somebody who's never been knocked out before. So I mean,
yeah.
hey, what can you do? But let's move on to a kind of a big fight, in my opinion, because Miesha Tate is making her return to the UFC to fight Marianne Reneau. Let me be honest. I want Miesha Tate to come back in fashion. I want her to take this win.
A lot of people want a KO.
I think she's gonna come back in fashion. She's come back big. She's gonna take this one. You
got KO?
I'll take it. Do I want a KO? I'll have to think more on that one before tonight. I'll have to think more on that one before tonight.
Okay.
To be honest
What
with you.
round do you think? What round?
What round?
If it was, let's say Melissa Tate, like let's say if you saw the headline.
Well, it's a third round,
She
so
won by
honestly, okay, it's a third round. I'll go with decision.
Okay, if it's not the third round, it's KO.
Yeah.
I could see that. I'll be honest, I didn't know who she was until I saw her on the weigh-in, and then I had to do a lot of research because she looked sick. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
But why was she? Do you know why? Did she not compete because of COVID?
No. She was just not. No, she was gone from the UFC.
Oh, she left.
Yes, she was gone.
Oh.
What was it? Last I was hearing of her back in the UFC was when she absolutely ruined Ronda Rousey's return back after she lost her belt and absolutely devastated her and sent. Actually, wait, no, was that one? I swear Miesha Tate beat her on her comeback fight. Because I know Ronda beat Miesha on the first fight, but I swear Miesha.
I think you're right because I want to say Ronda, her first big loss, she lost to Holly, and then when she returned or whatever later,
it was against Miesha Tate, right?
Yes.
Because that return fight was a loss for Ronda.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what ended her. That's what
loss was Tate.
Literally ended her career in the UFC.
Yeah, then she had to go to WWE.
Literally, it was kind of embarrassing for Ronda.
Oh, it's embarrassing for any UFC fighter unless your name's Brock Lesnar to go from UFC to WWE because Brock Lesnar is
Brock Lesnar was the only one who actually could do that because he actually scrapped up some wins in the UFC. Pretty sure he held the belt.
Brock Lesnar is one of my favorite heavyweights of all time.
Didn't he hold the belt?
Yes,
in the
he did.
UFC?
He held the UFC title for almost a year. He had 3 title defenses.
No one the reason a bunch of WWE fighters get made fun of for all that and coming back and are hated on, and UFC fighters are hated on go to the UFC. You don't make that transition because if you're good in the WWE, you're not going to be good at actual fighting.
Hell no.
And that's going to be that's been proven time and time again.
Ask CM Punk.
Literally.
Ask CM Punk. 2 times as CM Punk.
Yeah, he got mollywopped. It wasn't even like, I mean, he was competing, but he was getting dominated.
He
It
had
wasn't
no
even
business
close.
being in that octagon.
He really didn't. He only got in there because he was friends with Dana. That's it.
Right.
But Brock, it's a different story because he actually made that crossover, came over, won a belt. I wouldn't tell. I'd be lying to you if I said it was a great career because it wasn't the very best that he had. But yeah,
It was. I would be honest. If your goal was to have a good short career and have people remember you, congratulations, you did exactly that. Because he had memorable. What do you call it too? Uh, post fight interviews that people will remember too.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get on
Yep.
to the biggest news this podcast. We got the return of Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler. Well, Robbie Lawler, it's not like he's returning. He's been here. But Nick Diaz.
The rematch only took what, 10 years?
Yes, the last time they fought, we were kids, or at least I was a kid, and you were like a baby.
I was an infant.
Like, this is crazy. I wanted to see Nick Diaz fight. I want to see the Diaz brothers fight in general.
Right.
And I had to be okay with Nate, but he wasn't the big star. Nick, he's the big star, Diaz. He's the one that's going to come out fire and banging. He's not the one that's just going to eat a ton of punches and a ton of shit, get a bloody face, and then pray for that last second knockout when he can clip you when you're just not paying attention because you're getting too lost in punching his face.
Yeah, you know,
Nick,
blood.
He's bringing that fight. He is gonna dominate. Actually, I mean, it is Robbie Lawler, so this might be a 5-round straight brawl, straight just clobbering each other's faces.
This might be a decision win because of just 5 rounds of beat shit.
This might be a decision win because it's tough to see any of these men knocking each other out because Robbie is a tough dude, tough motherfucker. Then Nick, dude, he is just he's just one of the best fighters.
You don't even have to tell anybody how tough a Diaz brother is in the UFC.
You take a Diaz toughness and then you actually add top tier level skill.
It's not fair.
Almost unbeatable. Almost unbeatable. I think Diaz takes that one, but we'll talk more about that.
You take Diaz's toughness and you get the heart of the guy who Sean O'Malley beat the shit out of last UFC, and you put that into a human being, that's somebody who will never quit.
Yeah. Now let's get on to the another fight that was added onto that card. Valentina Shevchenko, the Russian assassin, is back September 15th to assassinate Murphy.
Oh, I got her round 2 KO. I didn't give a fuck.
You got a round 2?
Round 2 KO.
Round 2?
Yeah.
I think she might take you round 2 or 3. I'm thinking more 3, but I think it's going to be another KO because the Russian assassin takes heads.
I see late second round, early third round KO, Valentina.
I'm thinking a nice swift leg kick to end it.
I could see it too. I see a kick to the head being what ends it. 100%.
I could see that. Well, I mean, unless you got any last minute news or anything.
I'm sure I'm actually straight. The only thing that I would pretty much just add in is the next UFC event that you were talking about. Teixeira, I know he's going to be competing on that.
Oh yeah, no, he is.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that.
Mm-hmm. So I think that that about wraps it up.
So thank you for watching. Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. Don't forget to go check out our sponsors via Vegas Sports Advantage. All they do is win. We've been winning with them alongside them. We've been only up with them. Get to them because you want to win. You want to get that back, and they'll give it to you. Make sure you go through our link. Check them out.
Yeah, and hopefully on Monday, Tyler's hungover ass will be here, and you can hear all about why he wasn't here this weekend.
Yeah,
So
there might be a couple good stories
there
on
should
Monday's
be.
podcast, so you might want to tune in.
There should be some good stories. I'm out.
Ride the Tide podcast. Out.
See ya.